All right, so I promised you lawn and garden in this hour, and you can see that we're delivering. Let me share with you, our next item is gonna help you with your lawn and gardening. And maybe for you, it is preparing the soil because you are about to do some planting, or turning over that soil or fertilizing or what have you. We have a tiller that's gonna help you do it so that you don't physically have to do all of that hard back-breaking work yourself. This is from Earthwise. When you hear Earthwise, I want you to think of really great, high-quality outdoor tools that are designed, that are easy enough for you to use. This is that great 8.5 amp mini corded tiller, and we're gonna show you how to use it. Peter Kilcullen's joining us, but I will tell you, Peter and I have presented this before. We had a lot more the last time we presented it.
Yeah.
We're down to fewer than 100 of them, all right? So, here we go.
Well, I mean, I think what you said is so true. You know, when you're trying to get a jump start on that gardening season, you know, waiting for that first warm day, this is actually going to give you even a bigger head start, and it's going to make it so much easier. So think about all the weeding that you have to start the season out with. Think about trying to just break that soil, dig down in there, whether it's on your hands and knees or a shovel or a metal rake to try to loosen that soil so you can plant. This tiller makes it so simple. And now you're thinking, well, I've never thought about a tiller before. I don't really have a great big farm. But check this out, how small it is, how lightweight it is. But you are gonna see some amazing performance that's gonna let you just take out all the hard work. So check this out, I'll fire this up. And you can see those 4 tines that are spinning 350 RPM. And watch how this is gonna be able to dig down in that soil and start to just turn it. Look at that as I bring it back. Now we're really getting down into that soil. So look at that, just that one pass that I made right there.
Look at that.
So what you have is, and now we just started tilling this area yesterday. This had all these plants and flowers, so there's still a lot of roots and things in here. But what we have is 11 inches wide in that path. We have 8.5 inches deep that we can do. But what I've done is I've loosened that soil. You know, there's still some roots and things in here, but all of this is turned up. I'm able to take all of this out, meaning here's all it takes to start planting. I can plant just with my hands now, taking out your plants. It can be those trays of the small flowers, certainly the vegetables. You can buy the seedlings. You're planting those. You could plant row after row faster than ever without all the back-breaking work. Really, without that, the weeding part, I think, is the early season headaches when it comes to gardening.
It is.
This changes it.
It really does, because when you think about it, too, the actual planting, putting the plants in the ground, that takes no time. That's like, you know, I don't know, 30 seconds per plant, if that. It's the preparing the soil that takes half the day, isn't it? So if I can do it with a tiller that's this quick, and just like Peter said, there's still some roots under there. Did you notice the tiller didn't have problems with that? Now, I don't know if you've got like a big 100-year-old oak tree, not suggesting you till that area, but for the area that you are gonna plant, this just makes it simple. We're gonna take you on a tour of the tiller so that you can see how it works underneath.
So again, and then you saw in some of that video where you can use this, and there's everyone on hsn.com says the same thing. So if you get a chance to look at those, they say how much power it had, how surprised they were, and how much work it was able to do. And there you can see it, those 4 tines. That's what's turning, and then in turn turning up the soil. So softening that soil, whether you have very hard soil or hard packed clay, this is going to make it easier. This also, what's important about this is how small it is, because now you're able to make those smaller rows. Maybe it's in between existing plants and flowers like we have here. It's going to be perfect. Moving this in and out of the shed or the garage is easy. There's a carry handle. It weighs about 25 pounds. You can roll it out because it does have the wheels on the back. We have all the safety involved in here as well. We have a safety switch, and when you let go of this bail arm, it completely stops if you let go in any way. It is simple. So there's that bail arm. I close that when it's on. When I let go, you're set to go. But obviously, you see when I close that bail arm, it doesn't start automatically unless you hit that safety switch. So again, let me show you how that works. We were able to make that one row right there. I hit that button. That's the safety switch. I squeeze that bail arm, and now I'm ready to go. And what I love about this is that you're in control. I can push that further into the soil, slowly work it back. But look at how much soil it's turning. Look at what it's able to do, whether it's hard-packed ground, whether there are roots, whether there are weeds, you are going to be set. I mean, the
Look at
planting,
that.
I mean, it really does such a great job. Everyone says they're impressed, they're surprised by the amount of power that you're getting. But this is making gardening not only easier, not only a little bit quicker, not only allowing you to do the biggest garden ever, but this is going to make the soil so much better for those plants. So we're going to get what we really want. Amazing results, right?
Amazing results, because you're not just kind of, like you said, scratching the surface. You're actually getting down so that the nutrients are coming up, because all of the nutrients really kind of settle to the bottom of where the soil is, that soil base. So it's nice when you can turn that over, whether you're seeding, whether you're planting regular plants, whatever the case is. What I also like is that this is corded. There is no gas, which means you don't have fumes, you don't have the expense of the gas, or, you know, transporting gas can be a bit problematic, and you don't have that. You notice there are no loud operating noises, so you don't have to wait until everybody in the neighborhood is up before you start doing your gardening. You could do it at 8:30 in the morning and you're not disturbing everybody, which is gonna be great. It does cut that nice path of 11 inches wide and up to 8.5 inches deep. And you saw all Peter did was turn it on, push it, pull it, and it's ready to go. And that's all you're gonna do as well. So you don't have to be a gardener in order to know how to do this. You just have to say, okay, this is where I wanna plant my garden. I'm gonna start with the tiller. I'm gonna go get the plants or the flowers or the vegetables or whatever it is, and get to work.
Maybe you just have a large area that you've never been able to tackle because it's become too much work. You love gardening, but it's become too much work. This changes all that. So you've got an area, maybe it's just the grass, and the grass never grew that well. You want to really increase the size. And for many of us, it's a vegetable garden. I say this is really just a powerful tool to get that great vegetable garden. Because here's what you're going to do. You find that grass area, it's maybe got hard soil, especially right now, the ground's a little frozen. Grab this tiller, get it out there. Then if you want to make, you know, changes to that soil, improve that soil. So let me just show you. I've got some peat moss back here, and I'm just throwing that into the soil. So again, you can improve the quality of the soil by dumping that into the grass, into your garden. And then how about fertilizer? So I can open this up. I can put the fertilizer in that soil as well. So now, using the tiller, the cultivator, we can improve that soil by being able to mix all those things together and make it even easier to improve that soil. Again, all of these things improving your results. That's right. Improving that garden. And I mean, that's such a great look at what this can do, how it can really get down into that soil and do a great job. I want to show you this as well.
Okay, just to let you know, we're getting down to our final quantities. We're just a few dozen of these left.
So you can see with the wheels on there, this is a great look at it. You've got your wheels. So when you're first starting out, leave those wheels down and you're able to have a lot of control. But as you get a little more experience with it and you really want to get down even deeper, this allows you to pull this pin and fold those wheels up. They lock into place. So now with the wheels up, I'm able to get even further down to that full 8.5 inches down into the soil. So let me put that out here.
Okay.
And start that up again, push that button, squeeze that bail arm. And now you're gonna see, this is incredible. And I can tell already in this area how we're improving that soil. You're mixing that soil, tilling that soil, and it really becomes incredible what you're able to do with this. I like when I get to these new areas and I can see how hard that soil is, but just a few seconds later, it's loosened. It's tilled perfectly. I mean, that's pretty nice.
And think about all of that, that fertilizer that you put in, that is now circulated into the soil too. And we have a small area, as you can see right here. So you can use this for a small area, which is going to be great. It's not a huge tiller that you feel like you have to have an acreage for. You can use this for a small area. You can even use this if you have a larger area, because it's so simple. If you can push a vacuum, you can till. And it really is as simple as that. Let me tell you, because we only have a few dozen of these left, we were planning to air this later on in the week. Unless we get more quantity in, it's not happening, okay? We just don't have enough. And this is the time. Even if it's still cold where you are, you're probably into the last cold snap of the season. Order it today. You'll have it in about a week to 10 days, and you will be ready, because when the sun does shine, you're going to want to start to put those plants in the ground and be ready and have the flowers around your home. And it's, as Peter as Peter picks up the alternative. It's so much better than that.
I remember this thing where you're standing up on the shovel.
Oh, there's no way.
You don't want to be doing that when you can have something like this that can turn that soil. So once you get down to the easy part, the planting, you can just scoop out that dirt, put that seedling in the ground, and you're ready to go. So right now, I want you to picture row after row of vegetables. Maybe it's the tomato plants, and you want to have that first really nice tomato in the neighborhood. You can do it because this gives you a jump start, and you don't have to think about, well, how in the world am I going to weed, loosen, and then plant this large area? You can do it. Just take one look at this right here, and the way it turns the soil. Please look at hsn.com. And here, look, we can even be a little delicate. Let's get all those weeds out. And look, we're not damaging those flowers near it. So think about those areas around the house. This is going to make such a difference where you're not going to have to weed. You're not going to have to use that shovel and do this thing to loosen the soil. You're going to be able to improve the soil by mixing in nutrients and other types of soil, mixing it together. You're going to get better results. So that's the thing we want to focus on. Better results with less work. And maybe before you've never thought about a tiller, because when someone said a tiller, I'm thinking a big gas power thing, you have to start it, it's expensive. Here, you have something that's going to make every year you garden easier than ever. And you're going to get just amazing results. So understand, you can definitely handle this.
You can, and it may even open up some spaces that previously you hadn't thought about gardening, because the thought of using that shovel is just the last thing you want to do. You know, have you ever used a shovel? You stood on it, you've leaned on it, and still nothing. You couldn't break the soil because it was so hard down there, or because maybe there were roots. This just makes it simple, and it brings the actual fun back to gardening. Maybe you used to have fun and you'd say, well, I would garden more, but you know, I'm a little bit older. I can't really kind of do that back-breaking work anymore. It's just not for me. Get the tiller, it's a lot faster, and then when it's time for you to actually put the plants in the ground, you're gonna be done in no time. We wanna show you in our last couple seconds, just to let you know, we're down to fewer than 5 dozen left, okay? Fewer than 5 dozen left of this tiller. And it's corded. You just plug in your extension cord.
Add your extension cord and you're ready to go. But I want to show you again the rows that you can make. Just a perfect row right there where you can now plant. And basically you're dropping those seedlings in by hand. You're exactly right. All you need is that extension cord. It's super easy to just put the handle on and you're ready to go. It has a handle on it, so carrying it in and out of the garage is simple and easy. Or check this out, with the wheels on it, you're just gonna roll that around. It's very simple, but look at that. You can see those tines. They do an amazing job. Everyone says the same thing. I didn't expect really to have as much power as it has. I was blown away by how powerful. I think the first review I read last time, it said, the little tiller that could, right? We talked about that last time. Because everyone's impressed that the power's there. So you're going to get great results turning up that soil, and then you're gonna get great results when those plants bloom and grow, and you'll be so excited. Biggest garden ever.
I know, and you can do it early too. You don't have to wait for the ground to completely thaw and all of that, because now you have, you know, the power in the palm of your hand. 4 dozen left. We'll let you know what it